Morning guys, I hope you're feeling strong, optimistic, loving and positive. In this video I'm going to take you through why this GA2110 G-Shock has got something a little bit special about it compared to the other ones which I own. Keep watching, I hope you enjoy. Now before I start on the GA2110, I do want to just make a few comments about the last video that I made. This is my top 3 G-Shocks. I got really interesting comments off the back of that. Everyone's really thrilled to see the various watches mentioned, and it was what was really fascinating and kind of surprising to me was that there's a whole lot of love for this watch, the G9300 Mudman. It was in my top 3, as you'll see in that video. If you haven't watched it, please check it out. This is now discontinued as far as I'm aware, but it's an absolute classic. It's been on my wrist regularly for the past 11, 12 years now. Wonderful, G-Shock G9300 Mudman. Now, what I wanted to say was, excuse me, can't beat a bit of sparkling water with lime. Wonderful. What I wanted to say was, during the past year or so, I've dedicated a lot of my workout time to using these kettlebells. I used them in the past on and off in various workouts. I went through a period of doing CrossFit, but yeah, when we got a little bit more restricted, let's say, I decided to take these on almost full time, because the wonderful thing about kettlebells is they don't take up much room in your house. You can do a 20-minute workout, even less than 20-minute workout, and they absolutely destroy you. And it's full body, depending on the movements that you do. Now, how this relates to this watch is that generally I've either been wearing this watch or my GGB100 Mudmaster whilst I've been doing my kettlebell workouts. And there's an interesting fact here coming up. Interesting for me at least. So I've got my notes here, which I always keep my workouts tracked. I think that's always a good idea if you want to see progress and see how, you're getting stronger over time. Now, during the last 12 months, these are kind of high-level summaries. It's not exact numbers, I've got those elsewhere, but during the last 12 months, I have done around about 100 kettlebell swings every single day, at least once. Some days I'll do this twice, but at least once. I split them up in 10 sets of 10. Now, that equates to 36,500 swings over the past 365 days. Now, I'm going to demonstrate the swing in a second, and you'll see that each time, that means the watch that's on the end of your arm, or being affected by the fulcrum being tossed around, is being subject to that. You wouldn't necessarily call it an impact, but definitely quite a lot of force striking through it. Now, to me, that's pretty impressive. 36,500 swings that this watch has been through, or the Mudmaster, a mixture of the two. Also, Turkish get-ups. This is where you lie on your back, you lie in a fetal position, you press the kettlebell out in front of you, then get it overhead, stand up, then come back down. It's a wonderful move. Now, I've done roughly 10 Turkish get-ups on each side, on each arm I mean, over the past 365 days, which means I've done about 3,650 various movements. And these things aren't light. This is a 28 kilogram kettlebell. I've got a 32 kilogram kettlebell, and I've got a 24. They're the ones I generally play around with. So that's a lot of force going through the body and the watch every single day. Also, you have the snatch. So this is where you will basically bring the either the press or the snatch, where you bring the kettlebell up to your kind of throat for the press, and then you'll press it above the head gradually, and then bring it back down under control. Again, when you bring it up to your throat here, there's quite a lot of snapping and movement, and the kettlebell flips over gradually and knocks onto the watch. Again, I think I've done between 15 and 16,000 snatches and presses over the past 365 days. And this watch has put up with all of it. So just an interesting note about how these kettlebells put your body and your watch that you're wearing, should you choose to wear a watch, under a lot of strain. But they've been absolutely fine. Again, another classic reason why G-Shocks are fantastic and my go-to watches if you're into that kind of workout. I hope you find that interesting. One little extra fact about when I use kettlebells, I've mentioned it before in the past. When I actually do the workout, I switch it up like that, so it's on the inside of my wrist. This means that when the kettlebell comes to the outside of the wrist, it's not hitting the face, it's hitting the strap itself. And most of the time it doesn't hit the buckle, so it doesn't dig the buckle into your wrist. This will become apparent when I demo it quickly now. Anyway, I hope you find my kettlebell and G-Shock reflections interesting. Now for a quick demo and then on to the chat about the GA2110. So just for reference, here's a couple of examples of the kettlebell swing with the 28 kilogram kettlebell. As you can see, there's a lot of movement going through the posterior chain, i.e. the hamstrings, the glutes, which means that there's a real flick, which means that anything that's on your wrist is definitely getting a lot of force going through it. I think you see what I'm saying. You need a pretty strong watch to put up with 36,500 of those swings in a year. I need some more water. Now for a quick demo of the setup for the press. So thanks for listening to my kettlebell update. You know, I do try and give more than just G-Shock content on here. I'm very much into fitness, strength, resilience, and kettlebells have been a massive, massive help for me personally during the last 12 months to keep mentally strong. Along with kettlebells and meditation, I feel I've really been able to keep on top of things. So I do like to talk about it and put it out there. And I recommend anyone to look into kettlebells if they're looking for a way to keep fit when they've got less options at hand currently. And yeah, also a little bit more love to the G-Shock Mudman G9300. So much love for it in the last video, and yeah, that was just a classic reason as to why it's such a great watch. Now, this GA2110, the grey. So there is a specific reason why I think this watch, well, why I know personally, in my opinion, this watch does have an advantage over these three GAs, the GA2100, the GA2110 ET, the blue earth tone, and the GA2110 SU, the yellow one. That is because, if you look closely, can you work out what it is that I'm talking about just from this shot, for example? There's something different. Have you got it yet? I'll show again. Can you spot the key difference? And I'll show one more time. Can you spot the key difference and advantage of this over these and most other GAs? No, it's not the fact that it has the aligned buckle to the strap, although I really do like that about it. These have the metal buckle, but the earth tones have the aligning color, like the blue here. The difference, which makes a huge difference for a lot of people, myself included, look at the digital cluster. Negative display, positive display. Negative display, positive display. Negative display. Now, a digital cluster on the GA2100 is pretty important. If you're just doing something like cooking, you want to set your stopwatch or the timer or the alarm even. It's such a small digital cluster, you know, you are going to have challenges to see that when you're setting it, say, in the kitchen. I don't have much of a problem with negative displays in general. I've got a black negative display GW9400 Rangeman. I love it. I've got no qualms with seeing that personally. I think some people are particularly light sensitive and struggle more to see negative displays than others. So personally speaking, it doesn't make a massive amount of difference to me when the digital cluster is bigger, like the Rangeman. However, when it's small like this, I think it's fair to say having a positive display does make a big difference. Now, there are two other models, as far as I'm aware, that also have the positive cluster. That's the Casey Neistat model. It's called that because Casey Neistat wears it regularly. He's a very famous kind of cinematographer, YouTuber, blogger type guy. That's the kind of purple, white, pink color GA2100. That has got a positive display as well, as has and if you're not aware, that's the GA2100 THB7A. You also have the GA2100 TH1A, which is the black with the green and red dial. So basically it looks a lot like this, but it has alternate green and red highlights on the hour markers, plus it has some writing in those colors as well, and it has a gold weekday indicator as well. It's not my cup of tea, but it's pretty cool. So they also have a positive display as well. However, those two models are both quite, let's say, in your face. They're not very low key. So this is the only GA2100 or 2110 that I'm personally aware of that is truly kind of low key, understated, with that positive display. So for me, that gives it a definite edge over the rest of the models. Now, you know, I own 5 of these things. As you may know, I've got these 4 watches, plus I've got a second version of the blackout GA2100 because I love them so much. By no means is the negative display on any of the other models a showstopper or a reason not to buy the watch, in my opinion. However, this holds that distinct advantage. One more note is that the new and highly sought after skeleton version of this, which is like it's a transparent jelly strap and jelly bezel, something that I'm very keen to have a look at, that's the GA2100 SKE 7AER. As cool as that looks, that also has the negative display. I double checked online, and I thought that would have a positive display because it's the light transparent watch, but no, that also has negative display. So again, there's something extra special about this that you just want to bear in mind if you're in the market for a GA2100. So guys, that's my personal reason why this specific GA2110 has a little edge over the other models in its class. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. If you enjoy this, there'll be more of such videos coming, and have a wonderful day. Take care. Right. Let's go do some kettlebells.